Okay, so you're going shopping and you're trying to figure out, do I buy new, do I buy used? It's all in preference, but what you want to do is make sure that you do the research and you know the value of what you're looking for. You can do this by buying blue books. You can get them on Amazon. You can usually get them used on eBay. But get a hold of one of them, especially if you're going to get into like collecting or going after vintage instruments. Another way to find out the value of a guitar is go on eBay, and whether or not you decide to buy on eBay doesn't matter. Everybody's got these things listed. You're going to be able to search a specific guitar, make, model, and have 5, 10, or even more come up in your search. And what that's going to tell you is what the actual street value is, what people are trading and selling these things for on eBay. It's just kind of a good tool so that if you walk into a shop, you can maybe bargain on the price. Another thing too, if you're going for new instruments, going on and doing like online catalogs like Musician's Friend, AMS, Carvin, these are the ones that are selling in bulk. You can probably get a really good deal. So those are 3 ways that you can go about getting information on instruments. Also talk to friends. Now, when going after a new guitar, you want everything to be perfect. Now, when I went and bought this Stratocaster, I went through everything on it. I tried to make sure that the neck was straight by looking down the neck. I checked the fret wire. I checked the nut, which is this one's brass. Just wanted to make sure that it wasn't scratched or gouged. I checked out the finish. I actually plugged the instrument in, played it, and just totally inspected it. And I could not find any flaws in it whatsoever. It came with a hard shell case and everything. It had a sticker price on it, and I started to talk to the guy, and I kind of had a hard time ripping him down on price because it was pretty pristine. It was brand new, and I love it. It's one of my collectibles, and I really had a fun time buying it, and it's kind of fun to play. Now this used one, this one, I can't say it was my favorite purchase. It was a very trying purchase. I wanted this thing really bad. It's a collectible, 1979, 25th anniversary, and it's a low serial number. It's number 316 out of 10,000 produced. It has issues. It had a lot of issues when I bought it, and by looking the guitar over, I found out that somebody had done the fret job and kind of messed it up, and there were a lot of fret buzz, a lot of issues. I almost got scared when I got into this because I wasn't really quite sure if I was going to be able to fix it and get it back to what would be a collectible range. And you know, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but there's some dings, neck pocket damage, you know, a ding, some cracks in the finish. But again, when purchasing this, I had to realize it came out in 1979, brand new. I was like 9 years old. So whereas I have scratches and dings, so does the guitar. And I had to, I don't know, you got to eat a little bit of that to get into a vintage instrument. And I went through this, did the fret job on it. I went and polished and high-speed buffed it. I made sure that the wiring was good. But again, it still has its dings, it still has that, but I got it really cheap. I got it extremely cheap. It's worth a lot more now after I put the elbow grease into it than when I purchased it. And the reason why I got it so cheap is because it had a lot of issues, and I negotiated. I took the time, I got the knowledge, I did some research on it, and then when I went to finally go get it, I kind of haggled on the guy for about an hour before he would even let it go because he knew what it was. But again, I started bringing up the dings, the pocket, the neck pocket, the fret job needs to be done, everything else. And the more I pried on him, the luckier I became, and I ended up bringing it home. It's one of my proudest pieces in my collection. I don't play it much because it is collectible and it's fairly rare. But, you know, it's a great story. I get to tell this to friends, and I ended up with a really cool vintage guitar out of it. So, if you're going new, go perfect. If you're going used, you got to kind of use the pros and the cons. Figure out what you're going to use it for if it's collectible. If you're going to gig with it, you don't want to go and buy something like this Strat here. because it'll lose its value if you just take it out and gig with it. So that's kind of a couple of things you want to kind of do when going new or used, and always negotiate the price.